Welcome back, everybody, to ADOBOLOCO. Today we have another interview. I'm your host, Xander Parsons, and today we are interviewing corporate / co-owner, or my mom, Summer Parsons. How's it going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad.
Good.
Not too bad, yeah. So you just got back from Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Nice.
Yeah.
What were you doing over there?
We were attending the fancy food show, seeing about being actual exhibitors for next year. So exciting things are coming up.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it was fantastic. They put on a great show, and we're excited actually to be in the next year's Winter Fancy Food Show.
That is super exciting. Yeah. Because then we'll all be there.
Yes.
Super cool.
Absolutely. So the whole fam will be representing.
You could come down and meet everyone.
You can. Come on over. January of 2025.
25.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. I like those events opposed to like flea markets and stuff.
Yeah, like swap meets.
Yeah, I like the big ones that are primarily focused on that stuff because everybody's just in the mode.
Yeah, they're there for
doing
food.
That thing. Yeah, they're not there to buy knickknacks.
No.
Yeah, they're there purely for the food and everything that encompasses it.
Food and new products, seeing what's out there. That's a lot of fun. There was a great buzz going on when we attended, so I'm sure next year is going to be even better.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. So, welcome to the interview. We're going to have some questions primarily about the company first, and then kind of get into more of the fun stuff like hobbies and interests and all that.
Okay, well, I hope I can do it justice.
You probably will. So, the first question is, what do you do at ADOBOLOCO?
What do I not do? I'm kidding. Well, I mean, I got the name corporate from all of you guys because I like to swoop in here every now and again and check things out, make sure everyone's doing their job. No, it runs pretty smoothly without me, but
It's true. No, I'm just kidding.
I fill in the gaps. So whenever I'm needed is when I come in and fill in those gaps and lend an extra hand or two to whatever we're doing, production, shipping. Like to keep the El Presidente on his toes.
Nice. He needs that sometimes.
He does. No. I just like to think I do.
No, that's great. Yeah, filling in every once in a while is super helpful because primarily it's mainly two people that are doing the actual production.
Right.
And sometimes when you have one of those huge jobs it definitely takes some extra support.
Well, that's what I'm here for. Extra support. And I like to think I add that support too by, keeping ideas and things going, and you guys bounce a lot of things off of me, and I like to give the consumer's perspective a lot because as a consumer myself for lots of things, and I do love to shop. I like to give that side of it. So what people would think if they seen it or read about it or received it.
Giving and receiving.
So I like to give that side of it too. It's always
Nice.
good. Yeah. And I provide snacks.
Yes, I was actually going to say that.
Oh.
You do provide some snacks for the shop, which is much appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, you need a string cheese and a juice box every now and again.
You want a juice box and some string cheese?
Do you really have that?
Yep, you want to keep employee morale up at the office.
Cookies are always a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. I like those. My favorite's the udon noodle bowls from Costco.
Oh yeah, those are good, especially in the winter time when it's cold.
Oh yeah, runs on udon. So if you do come up with ideas and try to bounce that off or be a soundboard for those types of things, what is your favorite idea that's actually made it all the way to the end?
Oh, actually, it's one of my favorite sauces that we have, and it's the pineapple. In the beginning, we were focusing on savory sauces, And I wanted something sweet in there. I wanted something fruity. And there was consumers out there that wanted that. There were people that were saying, hey, you guys ever going to have anything with fruit or anything on the sweet side? And so I kind of pushed that a little bit. And finally, we came up with pineapple. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah, nice.
Sweet and tangy and some heat in there. So, and it's a good seller. A lot of people love it.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites too. I was also wanting us to have some sort of sweet sauce as well, a fruity one, because everybody loves those.
Yeah.
But yeah, you gotta have some sweetness in there.
And pineapple goes great on so many things.
So what do you like most about your job at ADOBOLOCO or co-owning or partially running the company?
I think seeing how far it's come from nothing. It wasn't even an idea that we set out to do. It happened so organically or accidentally. So to see it with when you guys were small, with the kids, you kids involved, and seeing where it is today, such a cool thing to see the progression of it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And some of the best things happen by accident too.
Right. And because we were all involved in it from the beginning and having one flavor for kind of so long and then coming up with other ones and then just kind of seeing it branch out, it's just been awesome.
Yeah. And some of those things that happen like that too, they'll happen somewhere small, like in a garage,
Right.
like Amazon or Apple. And we didn't even start in a garage. We started in a living room.
In the living room.
Which is even smaller.
Yes.
Which means we're eventually going to be bigger than Amazon.
Oh, God.
Or Apple. So.
No, it's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction.
You're ambitious.
Yeah,
I like that. That's good.
Pretty awesome.
That's good.
Yeah. And then we'll buy Disney.
Oh, wow.
So what are your 3 favorite flavors?
My 3 favorites that we actually have right now, because I do have a favorite that's not out yet. It's a secret.
That's been the ongoing theme of these interviews so far.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's some good stuff coming down the line, but I'm not at liberty to say. So.
Can you tell me, though?
No.
Dang it.
Okay. But my 3 favorites that we have, I would have to say, are obviously pineapple, island wings. That's another sweet and savory one, but I just love it. So smooth and creamy kind of sauce. And then I would have to choose Hawaiian as a savory one, just because that's an all-around great sauce that can go on just about anything. And the heat is perfect enough to just kind of be liberal with it, generous with it. So
yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's a super solid lineup. I love all of those. The island wings is super nice because it has that cayenne flavor along with it, and
I love the cayenne.
Yeah, it also has that roasted pineapple element and the honey too.
Yeah, so it gives it a little different flavor.
Yeah,
layers in there.
And then I still believe out of all the sauces, the Hawaiian chili pepper is the best all-rounder.
Yeah.
I can definitely use that one on anything. You can put a bunch on there, and it just improves everything you put it on.
Yeah, I like that. You can put a bunch on there, and you're not going to pay the price later.
Exactly, and it goes with so many things, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes well with so many different items. I think it's the sauce that probably goes well with the most amount of things. What is the worst thing that has happened to you on the job?
One time when we were in production and we were bottling Maui Noka Oi, and this is back when we bottled everything by hand. And it was just Dad and I in a commercial kitchen, and he was pouring it in by hand. And I think I might have grabbed, because I would be grabbing to cap, and I kind of grabbed it a little too soon, and a drip didn't hit in the bottle right, and it bounced off and went right into his eye. I mean, just straight into his eye. If there was a slow motion of that, it would be crazy. But
oh man,
he dropped everything because, of course, it started burning right away, and there was sauce spilling all over, and you can't save that sauce. It's all over the table, so that's just a loss.
And that's one of the hotter flavors too.
It is one of the hottest.
It's almost the hottest one
that we have.
So that would hurt.
So that wasn't fun. Then we had to wash all the bottles and clean everything up, and that sets everything back. Everything just stops. Or the time that I was capping and putting them in the boxes, and I didn't check the bottom of the box to make sure it was secure, and I grabbed it. We were bottling Hamajang, and I pulled it off the table, and the bottom opened, and all 12 bottles just went crashing to the floor. That was a mess. Again, everything stops. You got to clean up.
That's the worst.
It's Hamajang, so it's, freshly bottled.
Yeah, I've broken
Fumes
bottles.
are everywhere.
Yeah, it's terrible. I've broken bottles before, and when a bottle hits the ground, it just seems like it explodes.
Yeah. Those two are the standouts in my mind.
I kind of wish we had the Maui no Oi, the incident on video.
Yeah, right? Like I said,
that'd be a great fail vid.
Slow motion. Just an evil drop just going right. Like a face right on the drop, too. Coming right at you.
I command this particular drop of hot sauce to be really, really hot.
Here it's flavor.
Shoot!
So, how would you rate your heat tolerance?
I can probably go... I've had them all, obviously, and I use them all, but when I get up to Hamajang and Noko'oi and Faya, it's more, I use it very carefully, just a few drops.
Yeah.
But I would say I could go as far as Kolohe Kid and be liberal with it. But that's about it as far as being generous with the amount I'm putting on my food.
Okay.
After that, I'm careful.
All right. That's probably a solid 6.
All right. Pretty good.
Yeah. Not too bad.
Like I said, I can handle the others, just, little.
I've met people that thought ketchup was spicy.
Oh, wow. No. Yeah, that's... No, but once I get up there, it makes your tongue sweat.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So how would you describe the progress that Adobo Loco has made over the years?
I think we've come a long way. Sometimes it feels like we took a couple steps forward and a few back. And then again, it seems like we've crept forward slowly and continuously did that. So there's been giant leaps, and then there's been some setbacks always in a business, I think. That's pretty normal. I never would have dreamt that we would have all these flavors or been in different magazines, done different shows. Never would have thought that would happen. So
yeah, Hot Ones.
Yeah, Hot Ones. Quite a few seasons of that. So it's just been awesome. It's been a privilege to watch it grow, especially with my family. So I think we've come a long way.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're still a small family business, but compared to where it started, it definitely has come a long way.
Yeah. To me, from where we started, it's big. In the grand scheme of things,
Right.
No, we're still small. But
we're still the little guy.
Yeah. But from my point of view, from my perspective, watching my kids grow up with it, we've come a long way.
So what do you think the future looks like then?
Oh, I think we'll continue to grow with all of you guys helping out, and all the heart and soul we put into it. I think because we like what we're doing, that really helps too. So I think we'll just keep going. We've got some good shows possibly coming up.
Future products.
Yeah. We have some future products coming, some really, really good ones, some really interesting ones. So I think it's going to just continue to grow. We've got some exciting things coming up. So that's going to be a big leap for us.
And if you want to see those exciting things, why not subscribe?
Yes.
It's free.
Subscribe so you can see what's going on, so you can be there if you want to be, and you can jump in on those new flavors when they come out, because sometimes they go really fast. Sometimes they're small batches in the beginning before we do bigger batches. So it's always good to be in the know so you can get your hands on it.
So now we're going to get into more of the hobbies and interests.
Oh, okay.
Kind of questions. The real stuff. So what are your hobbies outside the business?
My hobbies outside the business. Nothing I slave away for this business. It is my hobby. No.
Wow. Gotta respect the grind.
You know what? In the summertime, which is my favorite time, I love to camp. I do a little bit of fishing, but most of all, put me at the side of a river out in the desert, and that's my favorite place to be. I love it. Just soaking up the heat, being next to the river. So those are some of my favorite things to do in the summertime is just be out in the outdoors.
Yeah.
But other than that, when winter comes, I'm more of an inside person. I like the occasional bonfire and stuff like that out there. But is shopping a hobby? I mentioned I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I would think some consider that a hobby for sure.
I guess I don't have too many things I do. I love to read. I like to read a few different types of books. I like some true stories. I like maybe a little bit of romance in more of like an adventure story, kind of like not any thriller or horror type books. I'm not into that, but just kind of a little bit of mystery adventure. So I kind of like that just for hobby reading.
Yeah, I really like reading too. I think more people would benefit from reading. It's nice just to actually have ink on paper, like an actual paper book.
Yeah, I read out of the book. I don't do the Kindle version or anything like that. I like the book.
So you have your summer hobbies and your winter hobbies.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I used to ski a lot. I think the first time I was on a set of skis, I was 3 years old because my parents were avid skiers. And growing up, we would go to Mammoth every year for part of the winter. And then in the summertime, we would take our vacations on the Colorado River. It's probably where I got my love for being in the desert near the river. So I was on skis when I was fairly small. I still have my first little set of ski boots this big.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I did that all my life until I started having kids, and then things change. Kids
ruin everything.
Hell yeah, no. Because then it just got expensive, and then we were taking you guys places and doing all that, and so it gets to be expensive, and then if you have babies and stuff, it's just kind of hard to get away to do that. But.
Yeah, it's really expensive for one person to go snowboarding now, so that's why I haven't done it in a while. So before you got into the hot sauce biz, what did you want to do?
We had a advertising web design company, which I really wasn't a part of that. That was just mostly your dad's job because I was having kids and raising a family. Being a mom is by far my most favorite job that I've ever had. So I mean, I've just been doing that for so long, and now this with you guys.
So nothing else. Yeah, you've done what you wanted to do.
Nothing else I really wanted to do.
What is your favorite food?
My favorite food? Gee, that's hard. There's so many good things out there. I love Thai food, but I love Italian food.
Yeah.
And I love lobster and crab. Dungeness crab and lobster are probably my two favorite things.
Yeah. Super good.
That never gets old for me. Little surf and turf.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Or when I say Italian, like some kind of lobster ravioli.
That is super good.
It's hard to choose.
Yeah, it is hard to choose. My wife and I's favorite restaurant is in Newport, Oregon, and it's called Clearwater. And they have a super good surf and turf dish. You get a filet and twice baked mashed potatoes, and then an angel hair pasta with a white sauce with prawns.
Yeah, you can't go wrong if you're near the ocean getting surf and turf. That's
super good.
Yeah, superb.
So then if you're going to definitively pick one as your all-time favorite, what would it be?
Crab.
Just crab.
And the Dungeness.
Okay. Dungeness.
Crabs.
I've got crabs!
Oh, jeez.
And I mean the Dungeness.
Yeah, the good kind of crabs.
Yes. The only kind I have.
Yeah, crab is super good. Gotta love it. So do you have any special skills or talents? Like, can you do a cartwheel?
You know what? I actually cannot do a cartwheel. I cannot, never have been able to. It's interesting that you bring that up because that's like one thing that I'm like, why can't I do it? It's always bugged me that I can't do a cartwheel.
I can't do a cartwheel either.
Why is that? All my friends could do cartwheels.
Go.
I did it!
You did?
The perfect cartwheel.
Okay, good.
I don't know.
So weird. No, I can't do a cartwheel, but any skills? I don't know. I think I can carry a tune pretty good.
Oh yeah, really?
I'm not gonna do any demos here.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I can cook. Well, that's good. Most everything I make is pretty good, pretty tasty. It's what people say anyway.
Yeah. Yep. I second that.
Being a mom and being a good support.
Yeah, being support for other people is definitely a skill. Keeping other people motivated.
I'm not an artistic person. I mean, I'm not like good with my hands as far as like, you know, like Scarlett does pottery and art, and I'm just not. I always say I have Wreck-It Ralph hands.
I like that movie.
Me too.
So what would you say that your favorite band is?
Okay, these questions are really hard for me, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm kind of an indecisive person. I'll tell you why I think that, like, okay, when it comes to something important, obviously I can make a decision, but
That's
all
good.
these things that kind of are non-essentials, I'm very indecisive because...
Which is funny because you thought like the more weighty decisions that have more gravity, it would be like, oh, what do I do? But
no, I think I can,
it's
you
the
know,
lighter
like
ones.
come to a quicker solution or a decision when it comes to those things. But when it comes to these other things, I'm very indecisive. Like, okay, you know, when you're taking a road trip when you're young,
yeah,
and I truly believe that it is programmed. It is genetically programmed into most men to not want to stop on a road trip. And if you do stop, it is for like the smallest amount of time as possible. You're
Yeah.
getting gas, you're on the road,
all
you're
those
going
cars
to the
you got
bathroom.
past, you don't want them to
you're
all
on
go
the road.
past again.
Always. That's what they say. So when I was young and we were on road trips and my dad would pull over to get gas in the car, my mom would say, okay, you guys have 2 minutes. You can run into the little grocery store and pick out a candy bar or something. My brother knew exactly what he wanted. He got it, paid for it, back in the car. Well, not me.
Yep.
I'm staring at the candy bars like there's a million of them. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I take the M&Ms? Seems like there's a lot in the bag, a lot of different colors. You know, do I go with the Twix? Got the caramely cookie crunch.
Yeah.
Do I go with something fruity, like the Starburst? Now, I was there forever until my mom was like, grab one or I'm going to pick one for you and we need to go. So when it comes to these, I'm just like deer in the headlights. Like, I don't know. Like all of a sudden, all the bands that I've ever known are non-existent.
That's so funny.
So, with that being said, all around, just like listening to music, Maroon 5, I've always loved Maroon 5. I mean,
Yeah. I like their earlier albums for sure.
it's Adam Levine. Who could go wrong?
Wow.
So I love their music.
Right.
I like country too,
Nice.
but then I love like some of the older stuff too. Nat King Cole, he's got a great voice. Love him. So I don't know, but if I had to pick one, I guess I'd go with Maroon 5.
Maroon 5.
Yeah,
Really?
sticking with it.
Okay. Nice. No, it's a good pick. I especially like their first couple albums.
But then you got
Super
the
good.
Eagles too. I mean, I love them. They're great. A little before my time, but they've got some great songs.
Yeah, they got some
major
classics.
hits. But I'll stick with Maroon 5.
Okay. Awesome. It's a good pick. So, what would be your favorite movie?
Man, all these
Is
favorites.
it the candy bar situation?
It is. Do I go with the cookie crunch or do I go fruity?
Maybe don't go fruity with the movies.
Okay. My favorite movie, right off the top of my head, I think of like Multiplicity. I love that. Michael Keaton, always great in everything he does.
Yeah, that's a good one. We just watched that one recently, actually.
Such a good movie. A lot of good lines from that movie. But then you think of like older movies like 3:10 to Yuma.
Ooh, yeah.
Such a great one.
It's a good
if
one.
you go Western.
Suspenseful. I normally don't like Westerns, but I like the 3:10
Yeah, see,
to
I
Yuma.
don't watch a lot of Westerns either, but that one was great. North by Northeast. That's a great one with Cary Grant. Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. Those were good oldies. And my grandmother and my mom introduced me to a lot of those older movies that I really like. Yeah, there's so many good ones out there. It's hard to pick. I mean, as a kid, the kid in me, I remember my most favorite were the first Star Wars that came out. And we would always play, my brother and my cousin and I would play Han Solo and Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia and all the time, every time we were together.
Nice.
So the first Star Wars, as a kid growing up, those were my favorite. And then a little bit later, when I was a teen, it was Indiana Jones, like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Those first few were just awesome movies.
The Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So
good.
The original
Harrison
trilogy
Ford.
is super good.
Named
Super
one of my
good.
kids Harrison.
Like, I love it in the first movie when the guy comes with the sword and he's doing all the sword tricks
Oh, yeah.
and everything
Yeah.
and flipping around and he just pulls out his pistol and shoots him.
Right. That's great.
And that originally wasn't how the scene was supposed to go.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were actually supposed to have a full-on sword fight, but Harrison Ford had stomach flu that day.
So he was just getting it done.
Yeah, he was just tired of it.
See,
so,
that's why I love him. He just gets it done.
He just pulled his gun out and
Right.
shot him.
There you go. I love it. A man on a mission.
Yeah. So then, if you had to pick one movie definitively,
I would go with Multiplicity. You got your comedy
Yeah.
and a little bit of romance in there.
it's a classic.
And it is. And Michael Keaton was just fabulous. He played all those roles so well.
Absolutely.
But then you've got Tom Hanks. He's done so many films that I love too. Toy Story aside, which was awesome. And
Yeah.
you guys grew up on that.
Love Toy Story.
But Castaway and Philadelphia and all his
You've Got
his
Mail.
early stuff. Oh, that was great. Meg Ryan. No, Sleepless in Seattle. That is an absolute favorite too. I gotta say.
Actually, an interesting thing about Tom Hanks, he's the voice actor for Woody and everything.
Yes.
But for the toys and any other appearance that's not for a movie, if it's not a movie, it's not Tom Hanks. It's his brother.
Okay. Seriously?
Yeah, his brother voiced for the toys and for any video game that Woody was in.
Really?
Yeah, even some of the shorts.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I just think it's funny that Tom doesn't want to kind of show up to these smaller things.
No,
So he has his brother do it.
Yeah, he probably did in the beginning of his career, and then,
That's like if I was famous or something, that I would just have Harrison do all of the running around kind of stuff.
Nope.
Wow.
Which he would absolutely hate.
Exactly. I don't think he would do it.
So now we're going to get into more of the fun kind of questions.
Okay.
So the first one is, what 3 items would you bring with you to a deserted island?
Adam Levine, Harrison Ford,
Oh.
Tom... No, I'm just kidding. Kidding.
I guess they could do all the work because they're stuck there too.
Could. Right off the bat, I'd have to say something to purify water so I could drink water, because you only can live for, 3 days without water?
Yes.
I think they say. So,
Yeah, I think so. So a life straw?
yeah, a life straw, something like that. And then something to start fires. And then maybe like a flare gun with flares so I could be saved.
Yeah, that's actually a super good pick.
In case I couldn't get my fire big enough for them to see, I could, yeah.
That's a super good pick. Well, plus they go high.
Right. So I'd have to have enough flares that I could.
A boat would definitely see that, or a plane.
Yeah.
That's actually a good choice. So,
Thank you.
and
'Cause
too, if there are any dangerous animals,
Right.
a
I could
flare would
keep them
probably
There you
scare
go.
them away.
There you go. Yeah. Because I'm wanting to probably not stay there my whole life by myself. So,
Right. You eventually want to get off the
yeah.
island.
I got hot sauce to look after.
Gotta respect the grind.
Hey, yeah. This company, what would
That's
it
your
be
sole
without
reason
me?
to get off the island. It's like, I gotta get back to the
Would
hot
fall
sauce.
apart.
That's when you know that you really own a business, is when your main goal is you have to get back because of the
you can't-
business.
Yeah, you can't get away for too long.
So, out of the entire Adoboloco crew or family,
Mm-hmm.
who do you think is the best singer? This has been the hot contest.
Me.
Wow.
That's the safest.
Picking yourself.
That's the safest way to go. Because,
Bold option.
Like I said earlier, with skills or talents, I think I can carry a tune pretty well.
Okay, all right. Picking yourself
if
is bold.
I'm not bragging, but I I've heard you guys sing, and you also can carry a tune pretty well. And Scarlett can, but my 2 daughter-in-laws can sing beautifully too. You know, in my position as a mom, I could never pick one over the other. Also, daughter-in-laws, you know, they're both fairly new to the family. And so I've got a great relationship with them. Well, I think I do.
Right.
If they get interviewed, I guess I'll find out.
Yeah,
No.
they'll eventually be on here.
But
so
they're adorable.
Yeah.
I could not have picked better women for my boys if I could pick them myself. So they're a wonderful addition to our family. And so I could never pick one over the other. So I'm just going to go with myself because that's the safest thing to do as a mom.
Safest thing to do.
It is. It is.
No, you're right. They are pretty talented. They can sing and
They can. They're very talented.
yeah, they both play instruments too.
I know. I can't play an instrument.
All right, so this next question, you have to pick one, and then the other 3 you can't use.
Okay. That's interesting.
So you have the choice between Spotify, Netflix, Instagram, or YouTube.
But I would have to go, even though I love movies so much, I would have to go with the music. Because I think life without music is just not really life at all.
Yeah, it's hard to
Imagine.
not have music.
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Just imagine working without music. As Stevie Wonder said, music is and always will be.
Gotta listen to Stevie.
Hey, you gotta. He knows what he's talking about. It's always been around, and it always will be around.
Absolutely, agreed. So that means Spotify is starting to pull a little bit of a lead
Really?
in this contest. Yeah.
All right.
Yep, it's one ahead of YouTube now. This contest is heating up.
Hey, everything here heats up.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Oh, wow, I didn't even think about that.
Come on now. Come on now.
Get in the game. So if you could go back in time and watch an event in history, what would you pick? You can't change anything.
Okay.
You're just a observer.
My grandmother told me a super interesting story when she was young, and she's 99 now. Bless her heart. I love you, Grammy. I don't think she'll watch this either.
Someone can cue it up for her.
But one of her jobs, she had many jobs when she was, up and coming, be a teenager and a young woman. One of her jobs was to be a live mannequin, I guess you could say, a model, but in a store window. So back then,
That's crazy.
there were department stores that had like these, like round type of windows.
Yeah.
And they would, get dressed up in like the furs or the beautiful suits and working outfits and dresses. And they would model them and walk through the window and kind of pose for a little while and in the window of the store so everyone walking by could see it. And then they'd go behind again and change and come out in something different. So to go and see her do something like that and have the courage to do it and watch her kind of come into her own from a young woman to a woman and working in the fashion industry would be outstanding, I think, to watch and see.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like mannequins literally weren't a thing.
No, they weren't, I don't think, back then. And so these young girls had the job of modeling these clothes, and how fun would that be? I would just love to see her in that element
Yeah.
of
That's cool.
of having so much fun modeling all those beautiful clothes, and probably clothes that, she couldn't afford to have, but she got to wear all these beautiful things and just kind of show them off. And I think that would be fun. And it was very tasteful. So I would do that, although I would love to see Nat King Cole sing mine, your father's song, Unforgettable. That would be a wonderful thing to dance to while he was singing it live. But
That would be pretty cool.
I think I'd go with my Grams, though. I would pick
Nice.
one.
People must have not liked it very much then when mannequins started to take over.
Probably not. A lot of girls lost their jobs, and maybe men too. There was probably another side of it where men were modeling suits.
Like, these dang mannequins are
I
taking our
know.
jobs.
They were taking over. It's like robots today.
Oh, man. Or how people are freaking about, AI.
Yes, exactly.
But still, AI can't draw hands to save its life. Or write very well. It's actually, not very good. Well, thank you for being on the show and taking the Adoboloco interview.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. It's been fun being able to interview you and have you on the show.
It has been fun. Thank you, Xander.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to see more stuff like this, then subscribe, turn on those notifications, and we're going to be doing more interviews, and we're also going to be trying out different content as well. So stay tuned for that stuff. But for now, that's all we got. We'll see you next time.
See you guys around.